Our next cast member is Traci Barr. Traci is originally from New Jersey and has lived around the United States before settling here in Greenville. While having a 25-year successful career in advertising, Traci is a culinary artist at heart. Diagnosed at 14 in 1977 as a manic depressive, she has lived a life around mental illness and is now an avid mental health advocate supporting awareness. She brings tonight an essay of experience with electroconvulsive therapy.
The name of this essay is, Will the Real Prestidigitator Please Step Forward? Fortunately for his patients, my electroconvulsive therapist's hands are slight and dexterous. They allow him to place each padded electrode with a very particular economy of movement, which I presume helps minimize the terror that inevitably sets in during the minutes just prior to the direct introduction of electricity to one's brain. A person does not want to see a lot of fumbling around in a moment like this. His leisure domain is graceful yet precise. I believe he has mapped a customized layout of electrodes along with their one-of-a-kind currents just for me. I am stretched out flat on my back. He leans down close to my ear and whispers, "Remember, you will be receiving a bilateral treatment today." Has he come to the conclusion I need double the juice? I am grateful not only for the reminder, but also for the specificity my insightful doctor provides. This information makes me feel very special, very rare, like the pattern of currents he's rigged. The still innocent girl in me wonders, do I challenge him? Am I something he's never even seen before? In no time he finishes the positioning of each sticky pad, one after the other, according to his masterful blueprint. I am simultaneously comforted and impressed. His hand skills seduce me. Worse, they give me hope. According to Master Prestidigitator Ricky J., a well-performed sleight looks like an ordinary, completely innocent gesture. Before you know it, you've been wined and dined by a bit of entertaining hocus-pocus, the sheer, breathtaking artistry of a conjurer's version of a no-look pass. In other words, you've been had, and you don't even realize it. The Pearl Jam song, Nothing As It Seems, from the album Binaural, rolls in and out of my head like the pounding surf at Mavericks off the coast of Half Moon Bay. The tune is brooding and dark. I feel it is an appropriate, albeit cliched, soundtrack to accompany the work of the pleasant nurses and anesthesiologists who are also in attendance for today's procedure. They move around me in a choreographed, adroit rhythm that wanes in its intensity as we get close to the start of our program. But in contrast to my elegant and magical doctor, their attempts to distract me from the frightening business at hand seem over-practiced, ambisinister and stiff. A vial is dropped by someone and shatters on the floor. My unflappable, mesmerizing doctor then adjusts the final strand of wire that's attached to the electrodes that have been so meticulously positioned on my skull. By forcing my eyes into their corners, I can see how it snakes to a box with a dial. The anesthesia is pushed to the contraption that's been inserted into an aching vein of my right forearm. I taste the chemicals before they actually start to suck me under. For the next 10 seconds of consciousness, I can pretend the following. I am the bride of Frankenstein, humming along to the song that's still looping in my seriously deluded, severely depressed brain. I'm a tourist on holiday boarding a cruise. I'm a dolphin in residence at the theater of the sea. I am a bird who can now really fly over the cuckoo's nest. I'm every ounce the teenage prom queen I wanted to be, wearing my own special version of a crown. I'm in the electric chair, this close to ending the exhausted suffering of my wonderful family. I'm finally home, on the boardwalk in summer at the Jersey Shore, holding hands with Springsteen while we wait in line for a ride on down into this tunnel of love, inside our own little funhouse. I am being irradiated and purified, exorcised, beatified by a hard reset that will deliver me to the brand new and shiny happy life My expensive and charming doctor has all but money-back guaranteed me. Prestidigitations are the entertaining stuff of illusion, trickery, ready fingers, and red herrings. They are minor tricks that the novice spellcaster uses for practice. Next, I struggle to get to the surface, the paralytic my polite and attentive doctor has administered to prevent me from thrashing around during the seizure he's induced makes me feel as if I can't even move air into my lungs. I try not to panic. I become aware of the warm, humiliating puddle that has formed beneath me and want to thrash even harder. In recovery, an hour later, I wake up from a dream about the true story of a man who once picked my father's pocket during the commute to a critical business meeting. The incident happened on a crowded PATH train from Hoboken to the World Trade Center. When it was time in the meeting for him to sign the deal he had struck after months of complicated Wall Street negotiations, my father discovered the expensive pen he'd placed in his suit breast pocket earlier that morning was gone. It was a keepsake. He made a joke, borrowed another, and the multi-billion-dollar transaction was complete. I think those masters of the universe types never even knew what hit them. Later in the evening, back at home, he found a separate component of that pen in nearly every one of his different pockets. The nib in the back one of his pants where he kept his wallet, a coiled spring in the one that held his change, the cap deep inside his suit jacket. During the last few wisps of my dream, I realized my father's pickpocket is a fledgling who has just discovered the thrill of stealing and who then astonishingly returns the disarticulated goods without ever being detected. As I am finally able to open my anesthetized eyes, I conclude that manic larcenist was really a prestidigitator in the making, honing his craft. Quiddity, a noun, defined as the quality that makes a thing what it is. Polisemy, another noun, defined as a diversity of meanings. Curtains separate me from the assembly line of the other lost people who've also had their treatments that morning. Outside mine, I hear my father's steady voice asking someone if it's normal I haven't said anything yet. The doctor replies that not everyone responds immediately and a bit of confusion is not uncommon. And then, clear as a bell, he seems to say, "Your daughter needs to stop expecting so much of herself." My patient father, the deal maker, arose before the crack of dawn to deliver me this place. I strain to hear his quiet answer. "We don't think she knows how to do that. She has never known how to do that." I wonder how it is conceivable this man, this con artist, doesn't at this very late date in our relationship realize this about me. I widen my eyes and want to shriek at him that I am not confused. Yet I am speechless and in awe upon finding myself hoodwinked, taken to school, baited and switched, hustled by the mother of all possible prestidigitations. Later that day, my daddy moves his car from the hospital parking lot to the loading zone, where I am wheeled through a set of large and revolving doors. I am assisted into the warm front seat of his comfortable late model sedan. As we pull out onto the street, I feel newly stirred up, curious, energized and surprised, fascinated by the prospect of finding certain parts of me disassembled inside my own pockets, just as soon as I get home from today's bilateral treatment and away from this funhouse of illusions.